Alright, this Ask Misty comes from a drag queen who used to do Club Kid drag and more of a colorful persona. And they felt ostracized by the other drag queens especially, and the transgendered, more pussy entertainer. They said that the drag queens that look more realistic have ostracized them and pushed them into a corner, making them feel uncomfortable as a club kid or outrageous entertainer. And let me just tell you firsthand that I know that this is from jealousy. Now, the audience and the club and the venues that want entertainers, they want over-the-top entertainers. And if you're a club kid performer, and if you can really genuinely do club kid drag, that's much more difficult and more creative and outrageous than a transsexual drag, for example. And yes, I can definitely see the trannies kind of pressuring you to not do this type of drag because you outshine them. And they've spent lots of money on their bodies and their looks and their images. Now, I personally work in South Florida, where we do have famous club kid drag queens of past and present. Like currently we have Twat LaRouge and Chocolata, and in past we had like Glitz Glamour or Disco Dolly, who was then known as the Lady Ivy. And of course, we have the Florida mosquito that sticks all the girls and turns them into trannies. So, of course, when a club kid or a crazy entertainer shows up on scene with colorful wigs and costumes, it does make the fishy girl who tries her best to look like a real woman very uncomfortable, because they don't do that. Now, if they can pressure you into looking like a real girl, they know that they're going to outshine you because they have had lots of experience doing this and looking like a real woman, plastic surgeries or whatever, and you haven't. So this is their way of pushing you back behind them so they can outshine you. But if you can do club kid drag, and if you could do it very well, then you shouldn't stop. However, yes, I've said in many vlogs and many different formats of questions that you should switch it up. 1 week be a club kid, 1 week be a glamour girl, 1 week be a pageant pussy mama, 1 week be back to club kid. Switch up your audience. Keep your audience guessing. But I definitely do not think that you should quit doing club kid drag because the T-girls are pressuring you into becoming a pussy entertainer. Because the reality is the audience live for the outrageous, and the clubs live for the outrageous. So don't stop being outrageous just because somebody told you that you should become pussy. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but here in South Florida, for example, like Twat LaRouge is one of my very good friends, and she's over the top, and they go crazy for her. And I do see a lot of the transsexual entertainers watching her and like, ugh. And it's jealousy. It's something that they aren't capable of doing and they don't do, and it's something they don't excel at. But if they tried to push her into the corner and tell her, you can't wear your puppet body and you can't wear your puppet heads and you have to wear wigs instead of crazy costumes, then they're going to outshine her and the audience isn't going to go apeshit for her anymore. So yeah, I definitely do understand what you're saying in that the T-girls don't like the club kid performers performing in their shows because they want to be the star. They want to be, and they have every right. They've paid their dues. You know, I definitely, you know, and I don't blame them. You know, they're the hostess, they're the MC, it's their show, and then when somebody comes in and takes all the attention away, I don't blame them for being jealous or bitter. But to tell you to stop, that's not their place. So, if it's something that you do well, don't stop. But if they are intercepting and trying to help you because it's not something you do very well, then they could be looking out for your best interest. Only you can decide. Anyways, that was an Ask Misty. Thanks.